Hello, welcome to Lemon Studios, where we talk movies, television, and wrestling. I'm, of course, the Lemon himself, Zeke Lamone, and this is my review for Friday Night SmackDown. But before we get into that, let's get the house clean out of the way. Share and leave a like, comment below, and know your thoughts on Friday Night SmackDown. And, of course, hit that subscribe button as it helps me grow into my YouTube career. I greatly appreciate it. Now, all that out of the way, let's get into it, shall we? So, first and foremost, happy Valentine's Day to everyone who will be watching this on Valentine's Day. SmackDown did air on Friday the 13th, so therefore this review comes out on Valentine's Day, just so I can simmer it up. Hope everyone has a lovely day. If you do have a Valentine and you do go out, I hope you have a wonderful time with your partner. If you don't, if you're like me who are single, I hope you have a wonderful day anyway. I actually got me a nice little self-date shortly after getting done recording this. I got a double feature at the movies for some reviews that are coming out, and I might sneak me into a little dinner in between the movies. So depend on, it's supposed to rain here in Dallas, Texas, which is where SmackDown was last night. And boy, you know, when a show is in your city and you're not going to be able to make it, you're always going to have that FOMO. But with me anyway, especially when it comes to the shows in my neck of the woods, it's always about, can you withstand that FOMO throughout the whole entire 3 hours where you're just like, damn, I really wish, regardless of how expensive the ticket prices are, I wish I just would have dropped the money because it would have been really cool to experience all of that in person. And overall, I think this SmackDown did do that. I think WWE has really learned a lot from the last time that SmackDown was 3 hours, because last year, you know, it was a real drag. I think, you know, the 3 hour SmackDowns really tampered the momentum of the show quite a bit, and some people are still just not fully back within that. And right now, sure, there are some things that they could do overall better. I think the typical WWE-isms that, you know, aren't for me right now, like the constant, oh, well, we don't know who we want to win, so we're going to do a DQ finish. Like that whole opening match. The match itself was good. The opening segment I did love. Like Tiffany coming out and talking, and one, I guess it's going to take me a minute to get used to her fully being a babyface, like just doing full-on babyface lines. And I get it. Like, no matter what, Tiffany Stratton is going to get cheered. So I get why, hey, we're just going to go ahead and position her as a babyface, because as a heel, she was getting cheered no matter what. But I think there's a way that she can do how she talked before, where she was kind of a heel, but still be a good guy. She just does her heel tendencies, her heel dialogue to other heels, and then therefore it's going to be okay. Not this whole, I'm going to do my best because when I say I'm going to do something, I do it. I don't know. It didn't feel like Tiffany Stratton to me when it came to that. And then when Nia Jax came out, oh my God, I stiffed up. Just because, look, y'all know me. I'm a huge fan of Nia Jax. Love her. I think last year it was criminal that she was not on the WrestleMania card. I think she absolutely deserved that. And when she does show up, I think she always gives it the best of her ability. She always very much entertains me. This Nia Jax run to me is much better than her previous WWE run. I think she's one of the most improved players that they've had on the roster. I think we need to use Nia Jax a lot more, and I'm happy with her tag team with Lash Legend. And Tiffany Stratton, y'all know, it's like my second favorite girl on the roster. They have met each other way too much, especially throughout 2025. I mean, you can arguably say Tiffany Stratton's women's title reign consisted of just Nia Jax, like for 90% of the time, Jade Cargill for 5% of the time, or even 5.7% of the time, and then the remaining percentage was Charlotte Flair. I do not need Nia Jax and Tiffany Stratton communicating in any way whatsoever. Like, Rhea Ripley was in there. I think it would have been okay if you would have flipped it. You know, Tiffany's coming out to talk. You get that freaking amazing pop that Rhea Ripley has. She comes out, well, I'm also in it. You're not going to win the chamber because I'm going to win the chamber. You got the two people who are guaranteed to be in it, because Io is also going to be in it, and we're going to slimmer down the roster until it's just us two in it. And then here comes Nia. Hey, I got a qualifier next week, so I'll be seeing y'all in the chamber as well. But first, we're going to take these tag titles. I think that would have been an overall better start to it. Because also when Rhea came out, why did Tiffany just dip? Like, she really legit disappeared. And then we had the tag match, which again, it was good. Lash Legend and Rhea have a very good chemistry in there as well. Like, they were really meshing well with each other. It really felt like Rhea had someone that could match her strength for strength in some ways. Now, there are some people that we haven't seen her go one-on-one with, like a Bianca Belair, which is a absolute dream match. And then, of course, we also have Tiffany Stratton herself. I don't think on the main roster, they may have gone one-on-one in NXT, but on the main roster, I don't think we've ever seen Tiffany Stratton versus Rhea Ripley. So that's also some factors that we can't see. But seeing her and Lash mesh very well with each other. Like we got to see Rhea be a little bit of a high flyer in some ways. So that was actually kind of cool to see. But the fact that just because all four of them were fighting and the referee just goes, I can't control this anymore, I'm just going to call for the bell. It was just a little miscast to me in a lot of ways. Like, I don't know why Rhea and Io just couldn't win. Now, who gets the pin is obviously Nia Jax, right? Because it's Lash's time right now. Or also, why can't Nia and Lash win the tag team titles? You know, I think maybe there is a program where you do Nia and Lash versus the Bella Twins at WrestleMania. You know, especially with the segments that we did afterwards. Now, overall, I still think we're doing Julia versus Tiffany Stratton. I heard that, you know, there is some not certainty when it comes to Jade Cargill's opponent. I know Liv came out and they had the nice little date thing, and Jade and Jordan had a great match. They really did. It was just, you know, two women just beating the hell out of each other. They were doing all these big moves. Again, arguably Jade Cargill's best match ever in WWE. Like, I can't really recall any other matches that really stand out when it comes to her when it was one-on-one. Again, I thought Jordan complimented Jade Cargill very, very well. But, you know, clearly we're not going to do Jordan at WrestleMania. Clearly Liv's going to pick Stephanie Becerra because we've clearly dug into that one a little bit more. I actually think Monday is when Liv is going to make it official. One way or another, I think this coming Monday is when Liv Morgan goes, I have made my decision and I'm picking you, Stephanie Becerra. And then there we go. Now we have 2 weeks to go, hey, both of the chamber winners are going to face the SmackDown champions at WrestleMania. And I've heard that the two leading candidates are Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair. With what Charlotte and Alexa did, clearly we need to do that program, and I think that match deserves to be at WrestleMania. It's been a good, proper 1 year build. And then Tiffany and Jade, it's kind of like Nia Jax. I don't need to see those two fight again. I just don't. I think Tiffany is owed a rematch, absolutely. But again, I would have done that rematch at Elimination Chamber. I don't need to see this match at WrestleMania. Now, maybe there's a way. If you actually let these women into the ring and they actually do some promo offs and they actually talk, because the last few times when they fought, you know, there really wasn't that much of a build. You know, Jade just won Queen of the Ring, and then they never really talked that much up until SummerSlam. The SummerSlam match was actually pretty good. The Saturday Night Live, the Saturday Night's main event match was also fine for what it was. But, and yeah, maybe there is something still there. I'm just overall not interested in completely seeing it. I would have Rhea win the chamber if Bianca is not good to go. If Bianca's not to be there and we can't do Bianca versus Jade yet, I think Rhea is the next plan to go, because, you know, Jade's be saying, I'm that bitch. Now you got to face the bitch, because arguably Rhea Ripley is the face of the women's division. I think that's the biggest match you could put on, and I actually think those two women could rival Cody and Drew to main event night 1, because there's no way Cody's not winning the chamber. Now, how do we get Jacob in there? I think we probably do Drew versus Jacob for the title at the Elimination Chamber. That's the one that kicks off the show, because there's going to be some fuckery involved in that, where, you know, Drew still holds on to the title, but Jacob was clearly, cheated out of the victory, and therefore, hey, we're going to insert him in for the triple threat match at WrestleMania. And I think, again, Jade and Rhea could rival them to get that last spot on night 1. That's just personally how I truly feel about it. And yeah, you could do Io versus Julia, but I still think, again, overall, it's Tiffany versus Julia that we are going. But yeah, again, opening segment, it was fine. Again, I would have redone the ordering just a little bit, because, again, I just do not need Tiffany and Nia Jax talking to each other probably ever again, to be completely transparent with you. If we do another draft at some point, get those two women on different brands and keep them there no matter what. Even if one's going to make a special appearance on another show, hey, you have the week off that week. That's really how I feel about it. But yeah, Jordan and Jade was a very fun match as well. I think both of the elimination qualifier matches were a lot of fun as well. Alexa, Zelina, and Julia.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet.
My Amazon, because I said her name. I really need to get in the habit of making sure to disconnect it before I start recording. But yeah, Bliss, Zelina, and Julia. Fun match overall. I'm glad Julia didn't take the pin. For sure, Zelina took the 1, 2, 3, which is probably what we should have done. The ending sequence was a little funny to me. Like, Zelina's like, okay, I'm gonna do a little bit of a pose, and then here comes Bliss to do the Sister Abigail inverted DDT. But yeah, overall, the match was fun. The triple threat at the end, and again, this is a good contrast to the beginning of the show, right? Because during those 4 women, they fought, and the ref's like, can't do it. All 4 of these women are legal, by the way. And or they're the right people to be fighting in the match. They're fighting, and then the ref's like, I can't do it. I can't hold on to it. I'm just going to call the match. This triple threat, 3 people are fighting. Here comes someone who's not supposed to be in the match, causes havoc, and the ref's just like, well, what do you want me to do? It's a triple threat match. There's no DQ, so I don't know. We're going to let him we're going to let it ride. I actually really like the chaos at the end, because I was like, well, I'm pretty sure Cody wins, but I could see Jacob winning it. Because here's how I see it. Here's how I see the road to WrestleMania happening, how we get to this triple threat. Jacob was screwed out of the victory. In a way, Sami Zayn was too. I don't think you keep on Sami Zayn, because I do think it's going to be Sami versus Trick at WrestleMania. You do Jacob versus Drew at the Elimination Chamber. Jacob loses, but he clearly had the victory. Cody wins the chamber, because there's no one else that could challenge for Drew. My path is very clear. I am going to WrestleMania. Jacob comes out. There's unfinished business there. And then on a SmackDown, we do Jacob versus Cody properly. And if Jacob wins, he gets added to the match. Is it a way that's kind of like Rhea, Io, and Bianca last year? Sure, but hell, no one's going to really pick up on it completely. And then Jacob does beat Cody. It's very clear that you make sure Jacob beats Cody clean too. And that will get Jacob more over, as opposed to winning the chamber. Right now, winning the chamber is very impressive, but I do think pinning Cody clean to get inserted into a triple threat match, I think that gives more life to Jacob's character, and I think that sustains him a little bit more, as opposed to what we were doing if Jacob was to win the chamber, is what I'm trying to say. So again, I think overall it was a very good piece of business. And again, even the stuff in the middle of SmackDown I thought were a lot of fun too. The 10-man tag match was a lot of fun to watch. Again, another sequence where the ref lost complete control, but they let the match keep going. I mean, there was a portion where I think it was Carmelo and Solo were the legal people, but everyone was just fighting. Like Zack Ryder was doing like 2 Rough Riders back to back. All 5 of the good guys were teaming up to take out Tala Tonga all the way through. You know, Tama is getting the blind tag in. He's hitting it. And I like that seed, because Tama wants the U.S. title, but Solo's going to say, no, I'm the single guy. You're the tag champ, because they're making sure to put the tag title on Tama, so that's holding him back. But Tama's like, I got the pin. I just beat Shinsuke, and I pinned the U.S. champion. I'm getting that U.S. title. Now, I now think, because at first, on my first prediction video, part 2 will be different after Elimination Chamber. I think we are going to do the ladder match at WrestleMania, and I think it's going to be a lot of bodies in it for the U.S. title. I don't know if we're going to do it for the tag titles anymore, but there will be a ladder match at WrestleMania this year. I just feel it in my loins. But, you know, you got Carmelo, Ilya, Matt Cardona. I called him Zack Ryder earlier. Matt Cardona. I don't know if Apollo Crews gets in. Honestly, I'm surprised he is. He snuck back into SmackDown. I thought he was just strictly a main event guy. You got, who else that was in there? You got Tama Tonga, you got Solo Sikoa. There's 6. You could throw in Shinsuke. You could make it 7. I think this could get up to, you could put Uncle Howdy in there and make it 8, just so that way
never-ending story that really seems like to be between the Wyatt Six and the MFTs. Maybe that's a surprise sixth match that gets added to the Elimination Chamber. You do the MFTs versus the Wyatt Six one last time for the tag team titles. Although we also did a little tidbit with Fraxium and the Motor City Machine Guns with the MFT, so maybe we got something there too. But yeah, again, overall, I had a lot of fun on this episode of SmackDown. There's nothing really else that I could think of that was really of note. The 2 elimination qualifiers were fun. Next week seemed pretty interesting as well, as in a case of I don't really know who's truly going to win those matches. I would assume it's going to be Trick Williams on the men's side, but then what do we do with Damian Priest? What's his road to WrestleMania? Because it seems like we're going to do Aleister Black versus Randy Orton, which doesn't move me a whole lot, to be honest with you. And then on the women, what was on the women's side? I cannot recall the women's side, but I was a little intrigued when I saw that matchup. But yeah, again, overall, SmackDown was good this week. I was really sad that I missed out because it was in my backyard, but they will be back on the first Friday after WrestleMania as well. Hopefully I get to go to that, and I could probably, manipulate my parents into going, hey, WrestleMania was on my birthday and I couldn't go on my actual birthday. This could be a good composition present. Maybe I can manipulate my way into getting it there. Or maybe, now that WrestleMania is 25% off on the ticket sales, this is probably the start that WWE could be affordable again, and I could just afford it to take it for myself as a birthday present. But yeah, those are my thoughts on this week's episode of SmackDown. Comment below, let me know your thoughts. Leave a like if you made it this far in the review. I do greatly appreciate it. And again, enjoy your Valentine's Day if you are watching this on Valentine's Day. I hope you have a good time, whether you have a partner or not. I know I will for sure. And until next time, I'll see you here at Lemon Studios.